Let's talk about self-defense. Only in America can the family of a convicted felon who was attacking a minor sue the victim who was forced to defend his own life from that convicted felon. What am I talking about? Well, on August 25th of 2020, then 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 men, killing 2 in self-defense during a Black Lives Matter protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Before I jump into that a little further, if you think self-defense and the Second Amendment mean more than criminals and feelings, then smash that subscribe button down below, like this video, and share it, because Kyle is getting sued again, and I think it's absolute bullshit. Now, the estate of Joseph Rosenbaum, this guy who you may remember from the riots, well, his family, his estate is suing Kyle Rittenhouse. He's also suing Kenosha officials, local sheriff's departments, the city of Kenosha, the city of West Allis, and several counties for compensatory and punitive damages for the wrongful death of Rosenbaum. Legally speaking, that's a cash grab. Here is the case on the screen. You can see a whole bunch of people that are being sued. And I also want to read you this part here. And there's a reason I'm reading this, because this case is painting Rosenbaum like he is a good dude who did nothing wrong. It says, one of these armed individuals during the riot was defendant Kyle Rittenhouse, who was then 17 years old. He crossed into Wisconsin from Illinois carrying an assault rifle, which we know is all a lie, on the streets of Kenosha in open violation of the law. Astonishingly, the Kenosha Police Department, Kenosha County Sheriff's Department, their supervising officials and police officers, and the law enforcement officers from surrounding communities did not treat defendant Rittenhouse or any of the other armed individuals patrolling the streets as a threat to the safety of themselves or the citizens they were sworn to protect. Instead, the law enforcement defendants deputized these armed individuals, conspired with them, and ratified their actions by letting them patrol the streets armed with deadly weapons to mete out justice as they saw fit. In addition, the law enforcement defendants thanked defendant Rittenhouse and other armed individuals, gave them water, and allowed them to openly defy the emergency curfew order that was in place. The law enforcement defendants even made plans to funnel the protesters toward the armed individuals, deal with them. That doesn't even make sense. As a result, defendant Rittenhouse fired his assault rifle indiscriminately multiple times at citizens on the street. He shot and killed 2 men, seriously injured a third, and narrowly missed a fourth. Joseph Rosenbaum was the first person killed by defendant Rittenhouse, and unfortunately after this, defendant Rittenhouse would kill Anthony Huber, seriously injure Gage Grosskreutz, and narrowly missed shooting a 4th man. Tragically, Joseph Rosenbaum died when defendant Rittenhouse shot him. Okay, now, the reason I'm doing this video is to let you know that Kyle's being sued again, and to show you how things get turned upside down when a little time passes and they hope that people forget the truth. So we're going to put the truth back out there. Remember that Rosenbaum was the subject who tried to obtain Rittenhouse's firearm during the riots when he was part of the mob chasing Kyle. Yeah, the same Rosenbaum that Fox News wrote about on November 17th, 2021. This is what Fox News said, and this is a quote. Joseph Rosenbaum, a 36-year-old residing in Kenosha, was the first man who Rittenhouse fatally shot on the evening of August 25, 2020. Drone footage of the encounter appears to show Rosenbaum chasing Rittenhouse before the teenager turned around and fired 4 shots at close range, fatally striking Rosenbaum. Rittenhouse testified that he acted in self-defense after Rosenbaum threatened to kill him and tried to grab his gun, but prosecutors argued that Rittenhouse provoked Rosenbaum earlier in the evening. Hours before the fatal encounter, Rosenbaum had been released from a local hospital in the wake of a suicide attempt, according to the Washington Post. He had pending charges in Wisconsin for alleged domestic abuse and jumping bail at the time of his death. In December of 2002, a court in Pima County, Arizona, sentenced him to a decade in prison on child molestation charges. And I read that report, and the charges and what he did is disgusting. He spent over 14 years in prison and committed dozens of disciplinary infractions, according to the state records, and here they are on the screen. Now, Rosenbaum was a registered sex offender as well, At the time of his death, he was on the Wisconsin Sex Offender Registry for an Arizona child molestation case. Rosenbaum was released from the hospital in Milwaukee on the day of the shootings, and he was there for a suicide attempt, like I mentioned earlier. Testimony during the trial of Rittenhouse indicated that Rosenbaum tried to get his bipolar medication prescription filled that day, but the pharmacy was closed due to the arson and fires and unrest. Shocker. Rosenbaum was captured on video using racial slurs and urging people to shoot him. Remember those? During the trial, he was repeatedly described by witnesses, some of them testifying for the prosecution, like his own attorneys, as him being belligerent, agitated, and getting into verbal fights. He was seen with a chain, and he was involved in an arson fire at a dumpster. Testimony also revealed that Rosenbaum threatened a group that included Rittenhouse, saying, quote, "If I catch you guys alone tonight, I'm going to fucking kill you," end quote. Sounds like a good dude. The Rosenbaum shooting is captured on 3 different videos: citizen video, drone video, and the FBI infrared video taken from a plane, which helped out Kyle during the trial. Each video shows Rosenbaum chasing Rittenhouse, gaining ground on him, reaching for Kyle's firearm, and then being shot at close range. So, with all of this, all these facts that came out at trial, now his estate is suing Kyle Rittenhouse again for money after being acquitted by a jury of his peers. And in the famous words of Don King, only in America. It's disgusting. Now, what does Kyle say about this? Well, Kyle's quote was this: "These lawsuits are making it harder and harder for me to move on with my life." This is in an interview he did with the Texas Scorecard. "It is extremely difficult to go outside without fear of being harassed or assaulted because of the lies spread in these lawsuits. No one should have to continue to defend the fact that they acted in self-defense." And I say that for this. Guys, the anti-gun crowd, the anti-gun crew, the anti-gun establishment, they hate you. They hate the fact that you can defend yourself from maniacs. And even after you're proven right, there still will be a mounting pile of bullshit that still look to defame you, even though you did what needed to be done. Another reason I'm bringing this up is because we are the sentinels of our society. Guys and gals, we are the ones who keep this country free. And they don't, them being the Democrats or the ultra-left or whatever group you want. They want criminals to run amok so that people are in fear and beg for more government, and then the government takes more of our rights away. That's what it's all about. So stand against the BS, protect yourself, your family, your loved ones, and your community, and keep a gun on you, guys and gals. Be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. If you wouldn't mind, please like the video and share it so more people are aware of this. I think it's absolute horseshit that Kyle's getting sued again. But this is America. A wrongful death lawsuit is totally different than a criminal lawsuit. It's a much lower level that they need to prove when it comes to a civil case. The burden of proof is much lower. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you in the loop. If you want to know, then subscribe to the channel down below. I'll see you all again on the next one. Take care.